Claire was home alone. Rain lashed against the windows. Wind howled outside. She curled up on the sofa. A book rested in her lap. The apartment was quiet. Too quiet. A log crackled in the fireplace, the only sound besides the storm. A shiver ran down Claire's spine. She wished she wasn't alone. Knock, knock. Claire's head snapped up. Her heart pounded in her chest. She listened intently. The sound seemed to come from the front door. Who would be out on a night like this? Claire put down her book. She took a deep breath. Slowly, she rose to her feet. Claire crept towards the door. Each step sent chills down her spine. She peered through the peephole. No one was there. The hallway was empty. Claire frowned, confused and uneasy. She unlocked the door cautiously. "Hello?" she called out, her voice trembling. Only silence answered her. Section 4. A Crash and a Draft. Claire shut the door, more scared now. The darkness of the room seemed to close in on her, amplifying every creak and groan of the old apartment. She could feel her heart pounding in her chest, each beat echoing in her ears. She turned to go back to the living room, her steps hesitant and slow. That's when she heard it. A loud bang from the kitchen. The sound was sharp and sudden, like something heavy had fallen or been thrown. A cold draft cut through the apartment, sending a shiver down her spine. Claire spun around, her eyes wide with fear. The chill in the air was unnatural, almost as if it carried a warning. The kitchen window was wide open. Rain blew in, soaking the floor and knocking over a small potted plant on the windowsill. The sight of the open window filled her with dread. She was certain she had closed it earlier. Fear gripped Claire's heart. She didn't remember leaving the window open. Her mind raced with possibilities, each one more terrifying than the last. Had she been careless, or was there something more sinister at play? Had someone entered her apartment? The thought sent a wave of panic through her. She glanced around the dimly lit room, searching for any signs of an intruder. Every shadow seemed to move, every sound seemed amplified. She knew she had to check the rest of the apartment, but the fear of what she might find made her hesitate. Claire took a deep breath, trying to steady her nerves. She had to be brave. She had to find out what was going on. Section 5. Footprints in the hall. Claire cautiously approached the kitchen. Her eyes darted around the room, scanning every shadow and corner. The dim light cast eerie shapes on the walls, making her heart race faster with each step. Something was wrong. Muddy footprints marked the floor, leading from the window to the hallway. The sight of the footprints sent a chill down her spine. They were fresh, still wet, and unmistakably leading deeper into the house. They were large footprints, too big to be hers. Panic swelled in her chest as she realized the implications. Someone had been inside, someone much larger than her. The thought of an intruder lurking in the shadows made her skin crawl. Someone was definitely inside the apartment, but who? And where were they now? Claire's mind raced with possibilities. She strained her ears, listening for any sound that might give away the intruder's location. The silence was deafening, amplifying her fear. She knew she had to act quickly, but every muscle in her body was frozen with terror. The unknown presence in her home turned her sanctuary into a place of dread. She took a deep breath, trying to steady her nerves, and decided to follow the footprints, hoping to find answers before it was too late. Section 6. A Shadow at the Door. Claire backed away slowly, her eyes fixed on the hallway. The dim light cast eerie shadows on the walls, making her heart race. She could feel the cold sweat trickling down her back as she tried to make sense of the situation. The hair on the back of her neck stood on end. Every instinct in her body screamed for her to run, but her feet felt glued to the floor. She could hear her own heartbeat, loud and frantic, echoing in her ears. A shadow flickered in the hallway just outside the kitchen door. It was an ominous presence, something that didn't belong. Claire's mind raced with possibilities, each more terrifying than the last. It moved quickly, silently towards her bedroom. The shadow seemed to glide, almost as if it were floating. Claire's breath quickened and she felt a chill run down her spine. Claire's breath caught in her throat. Terror propelled her forward. She knew she had to act fast, but her mind was paralyzed with fear. She could barely think straight, her thoughts a jumbled mess of panic and dread. She had to get away. With a burst of adrenaline, Claire turned and ran, her footsteps echoing in the empty hallway. She didn't dare look back, afraid of what she might see. All she knew was that she had to escape no matter what. Section 7. Trapped. Claire ran towards her bedroom, desperate to reach the phone, but it was too late. The bedroom door slammed shut with a deafening boom. The sound echoed through the apartment, mocking her fear. Knock, knock. The sound came again, this time from behind the bedroom door. Claire was trapped.